What's up guys, Coach Seth here. So I got a couple questions about certain types of knee pain, and I've done a video on patellar tendonitis and basically walked you through step by step of how to get rid of something like that. And this video isn't going to be directly for patellar tendonitis, it's more of an all-around knee pain relief. So what I've seen, learned, and experienced, most of the time there are two different causes for knee pain: muscle imbalance or tight muscles. Most of the time, the cause of your knee pain is going to be one of those two things, unless it's something more severe that's going to need surgery later on. So I'm not going to talk much about muscle imbalance today. I'm going to save that for a later video. What we are going to focus on today is tight muscles. For me, with my knee pain, I had really tight quads, so I was attacking my quads with long foam roll sessions and long stretch sessions, which isn't a bad thing. You need to keep your quads stretched as well. But what I wasn't doing enough was focusing on other areas that could have been the cause of my tight quads. A lot of times the reason for tight quads are tight hips, and that's what we are going to focus on today, is the hip area, because I feel like the hip area gets overlooked because it just doesn't seem like it could be the cause of knee pain. But most of the time I would say it is. So I'm going to give you three main areas that's going to need stretched, and I'm going to give you my favorite stretches for each area. Before we go any further, I want to make sure you guys understand that doing stretches alone is not going to completely get rid of your knee pain. So just make sure you're aware of that. So let's go ahead and get into the stretches. All right, so we are here on the floor, and this first area that we're going to focus on is the hip flexors. And that is the muscles on the front part of the hips right in here. And a lot of the times this is the cause for tight quads. So I'm going to give you the stretch here. So I just put a pillow on the floor here so it's nice and comfortable for the knee. But what we're going to do is bring one foot forward, and we bring the torso up like this. But what we want to do is kind of come forward with the hip, so our knee is further back than the hip. And just know that a lot of research has shown that the longer you hold, the better. So I would say at the very minimum 30-second hold, but you probably want to aim more towards a minute, maybe even like a minute and a half or so. So just take your time with it and just kind of just hang out. So the next area we're going to focus on is the glutes, and I think we all know where the glutes are, but this could possibly be one of the most important muscle groups to fix knee pain. So if you're looking to completely get rid of knee pain, it could be because you kind of avoid working the glutes, and that's kind of what I did, and that's kind of what I figured out whenever I was trying to get rid of my knee pain. But for this video, we're not worrying about exercises, we're just focusing on stretching. So I'm gonna give you my favorite stretch for the glutes. We're gonna get in a hands and knees position, one knee forward and kind of overlapping the other leg. And from here, all we're gonna do is just slide that other one back until we find a good stretch in the glutes. And for this one, you might have to kind of maneuver around a little bit. You might even need to bring this part of your leg up and maybe even sit like this. As soon as you feel a good solid stretch, find the restriction of the stretch and then hold that once again for at least 30 seconds, probably more like a minute or so. So a good way to think about stretching is you want to challenge yourself, but you don't want to overdo it so it causes injury. So what I like to think of it is, think of that restriction area. Find that restriction. You don't want to, as soon as you find the restriction, then hold. What I like to do is find that restriction where it's starting to get pretty tight, push slightly past that restriction, and then hold. So that's where you want to hold, and that's where you want to keep that hold. So just remember that whenever you're stretching. Okay, so for the last area, we're going to focus on the adductors. It's basically the groin area. It's going to be the insides of the legs. Usually this isn't the cause for jumper's knee, which is the patellar tendonitis. It's more of the runner's knee, which is slightly different. I believe it's more on the insides of the knee right here, and it's caused from the pulling of the adduction. So we're gonna focus on that stretch. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna be on one knee, we're gonna extend one leg here, then we're gonna put our torso down like this. So you should feel it fairly tighten up right there. And then what you're gonna do from here is just sit back and still lean forward while you're sitting back. So it's almost like you're doing a split with one leg. And once again, you always need to maneuver around a little bit just to make sure you find that stretch. Find the restriction, slightly push past that restriction, and then that's where you want to hold. So once again, this is just a portion of fixing your knee pain. You're going to want to add it with a number of different things. But I hope that was helpful. For more on rehabbing injuries, make sure to click this playlist right here. And also, if you're new here, my name is Seth and I'm a strength and conditioning coach. So if you're interested in increasing your athletic performance, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.